Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new here, then welcome back. So today, it's been a minute and a half and like maybe a few hours, but we're back with a vengeance. Bay is back as well. Do you want to be featured? Featured, whoa. Wonderful. So we are in Bruce Peninsula. We are quite far from home, but we are just on a trail. Our camp is somewhere up yonder. We'll show you that later. This is the trail we're on. We're gonna go check out the Grotto and Indian Head. So when we get there, we will show you what that looks like. This is our view right now. So as mentioned, we are going over to the Grotto, but Babe realized he wanted to bring his phone to take pictures. And we have like our little backpack and stuff. So he literally ran back to the campsite. So I'm waiting here, but there's this lovely boardwalk. I'm pretty sure the boardwalk gets you either like all the way there or most of the way there. Like it's a very nice, easy trail. There is a harder trail that you can use to get, I don't think it's to Grotto. I think it's to, I don't remember. You get a little map when you check in, so that's definitely helpful, but it tells you like which trails are rougher, which trails are not. The water in here felt really, really cold at first, and then I kind of stood there for a second, and it's all open, like there's nothing to shade it, so as long as you are in the sun, it feels really nice. When I first got in, it was like a shady area because there were trees by the shoreline, so it felt a lot colder than it actually was. So some tips and tricks we have found. We bought our firewood, excuse me, at like a convenience store at a gas station, like maybe 10 minutes away from here, because we heard that the wood here was quite damp and like literally green, but it looked like the exact same wood that we had bought, so probably would have been fine. I mean, it rained all day yesterday, and then it was like cool during the night, so any wood, regardless of where we would have bought it, probably would have been a little damp. So it was definitely a little challenging to start our morning fire, but once we got it going, it was fine. Spaces here are really open. It was kind of challenging to put up our tarp, but we figured something out. Again, I'll show you when we get back. The water here seems to be pretty shallow, like you can see the bottom in parts. So we're gonna probably paddleboard in it tomorrow. So I'll give you a review of that and how paddling in it is. There's no motorized vehicles allowed in the lake, so the only waves you get are the waves from the wind, so that's nice. You don't have to worry about a boat coming at you. Tamarack is radio free, so it's pretty quiet, although honestly the sites are fairly close together and there's not many trees in comparison to like Algonquin, let's say, where we were kind of we were kind of like setting up tents and stuff in like the more woodsy area, and there was a lot of like trees and stuff between each site, so it was very quiet. Oh, here comes the bay. Oh, but here it's like you can just see your neighbors. They're like right there. So
I realize how far we've walked already.
Have we?
A good amount.
Okay, then we're gonna keep going, and then we'll see where we end up, and then we'll give more tips and tricks later. Bye. We made it down. It's like hella busy. It was just like a little bit complicated, but this isn't the beach I thought it was gonna be. So I'm a little confused as to where that beach is. So I showed you the grotto earlier. If you're walking on the trail, it's like in behind there. And then if you go around, then in on the other side, there's a very steep path down, which I was definitely not bold enough to do. But I don't know what's down there. I don't know if maybe there's another grotto question mark. We're gonna go in the water, bop about. It's super busy. All right, let's get in the water and see how she fares. Well, I'm out of the water now. Bay is in the water. I don't know where he is. I can't see him anymore. If you didn't already know, big tip would be bring water shoes. There's lots of people without water shoes, but honestly, there's so many rocks, and even in the water, there's patches of like flat rock, but you have to walk across rocks to get into it. So if you're a delicate flower like me, I would bring water shoes. I got these guys from Canadian Tire for like $10, and honestly the like non-slip bottom is awesome. They stick to everything. It's really nice. I do have a pair of thicker ones. I didn't bring them today because I was like, honestly, they're thick enough. I think I could hike in them. It's just since they're new, I didn't want to risk it and then get blisters. So I'll probably use them tomorrow. So I'll compare the two once I've tried both. It's cold. Oh, he went all the way in. Damn, I did not. I was like, absolutely, that's not my journey today. How was it?
My walk of shame.
Yeah. Walk of great. I didn't.
Walk of glory.
How was it?
I had to get fully submerged into it.
No, my hair takes too long to dry. I was like,
It's a good experience.
yeah. Nice ice bath. The water at Cypress Lake is definitely warmer than this. I mean, we haven't fully gone in. I just put my feet in, but it's a lot of screaming children. A couple screaming adults. A lot happening. Just a lot of people. I wish there wasn't as many people. It's starting to thin out a little bit, but there's still definitely a lot of people. If you can bring it, I would definitely bring snorkeling equipment. I think it'd be fun. The only thing is, did you not find it like rough, the water?
There are rough spots.
It's like the swells are just a little bit aggressive, so if you're not a strong swimmer, then you might struggle. It would have been nice to snorkel. I didn't want to put my head underwater.
It would have been cold to stay in the snow.
Yeah, that's true. I believe that they do scuba diving. I saw a couple people snorkeling. They were in wetsuits, so that makes sense for them. We didn't film anymore yesterday. We came back and struggled with our fire. So I'll update you on that with some tips and tricks. But I thought I'd show you our site. So I have my beautiful hammock over there. Beautiful bay, chopping some beautiful wood. This is kind of our just where we keep our stuff table, mostly when we cook. Right now my camera's on there too. Water jug, make sure you bring one. There's lots of water stations with clean filtered water you can use, so definitely good to have. Ours I think was like $25 at Canadian Tire, and it comes with a little spigot and it holds a lot of water, which is great. Do keep a lookout, if you are a weakling like myself, how close your campsite is to like water sources, because they're not on every site. Like there are a couple sites spread out. Ours isn't too bad, but if you're not super strong or you struggle with carrying heavy objects, just make sure you check where that is, because if you do, then you don't want to be lugging that for a bunch of yards if you can get a site that's closer to it. This is our table for everything else. It's where we prep our food. There were 2 tables. I believe every site has 2 tables. Not every site has a grate. We brought ours because we heard at this point, this is our fire pit. The stones were there before we got there. But at this point, it looks like every other campsite I've seen has a grate, but you're not guaranteed one. Wildlife here, raccoons. I don't know if it was multiple raccoons or just one spicy boy last night, but he was not giving up. He was just running back and forth, just straight up through the middle of the campsite, around the campsite, poking at other people's campsite. This is a bear campsite, so if you're not here or not immediately cooking, you have to put your shit in a hard-shelled car, because there are bears. We haven't seen one. I don't want to see one. Not here. If we're out and about, sure, but I don't want to see one just like walking down the road. That would be horrific. If you're not here and they see like food-related items out, they confiscate them right away. Little spicy paws raccoon, that's what he was doing, at least to our neighbors, because we were here, so I'd scream and shout, and then our neighbors were not. So he'd like run around. He sat in their fire pit for a minute, like they scavenge. So raccoons are definitely present. I haven't seen as many bugs here. They definitely still exist, so absolutely bring bug spray. They're not as intense as they were when we went to Algonquin. But yeah, 2 tables, fire pit with or without a grate. This is our tent. This is our food place. So the trees are all around, but they're not, like, it was kind of a challenge to set up, especially our tent. This fun tent idea I'm taking full credit for, but we had to tie it up to the picnic table. The picnic table was over here, but we moved it here so we could tie that guy to it. Otherwise, like, shy of having strings all around, it's just not possible. It's not as easy. In Algonquin there were more spots. Here the forest is more dense, so like where my hammock is, I thought maybe we could set up there, but it's like super uneven, and it's just not a lot of space between the base of the trees. Bring a lot of string is all I have to say. Bring a lot of long string. You never know how far you're gonna have to stretch it. It's cold. Like, it's not cold during the day, but the nights are cold, so be prepared. The water is quite brisk, as you saw from yesterday's vlog, so be prepared for that. Definitely bring towels for everyone, because everyone will need them if they decide to go in. We're gonna go paddleboarding later, so I'll take you guys with that, but we're gonna go paddleboarding on Cypress Lake, which I've heard is quite a bit warmer than, what body of water? Lake Huron? Question mark? I'm a great Canadian. What else did we think of? Oh, we were initially not going to get like a little camp stove, but then we did, and I'm really grateful that we did, because as much as we love the fire, it's a pain. And because it can be so warm during the day and then so cold at night, everything dampens. So even if you have the driest firewood somehow, by the next morning it could be quite damp. Also, don't put your water in your fire. We made that mistake. That was another reason why we couldn't light the fire. Bring cardboard for kindling for your fire, because I know in Algonquin our friends are much more seasoned campers than we are, and they had lots of cardboard, so I felt like our fires were never an issue. But since we had none, it was a constant game of it going out and then coming back, and then it going out and it coming back. So we've prepped some kindling today from the wood we have. Bae loves his axe, so it's a fun chore. I feel like most sites slope at least a little bit. There's definitely an incline, so equally be prepared for that. It's possible that the upper sites might not, like we're on the other side, so be prepared for uneven ground. It's Mother Earth. And be prepared for less privacy if you're used to, I don't know about all provincial parks, but I think both of the ones we went to so far have been like, there's more space. Like over to this side you can't see anything, it's great, but literally across the street there's a campsite right over there, and then our neighbors are right there. We can like high five each other if we wanted to. Oh, and then there's another one like just over there, so it's definitely more together. And our site isn't even the most crowded. Like, we're in Tamarack. Our particular site is 218. Birches are like just straight, like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's way more people there, I feel. So I can only assume that the campsites are closer, but I believe they also have more amenities for that reason. Ours aren't bad. They're spread out a little bit, but the garbage is hella far. So if you have trash, which you eventually will, because that's the way it goes, you have to keep your garbage in your car or go dump it. So either if you're having, drinks or weed or anything, definitely do your car dump before that, because nobody wants to end up in a tree or with some kind of injury, obviously. But yeah, they're like past the park entrance. We're out on the water. What up? We came all the way up, and by all the way I mean like a half. So over there, that area, and back is the yurts. We tried to get a yurt, we could not. I believe our spot is like right in here. It feels like a long way. It probably feels longer than it actually honestly was, just because it's very windy. So we were paddling against the current the whole way. So now, just floating back. We're gonna paddle back. I think I'm gonna swim and snorkel a bit. I don't know. I'll show you guys if I can. It's just, let me show you. It's quite murky. The bougie water looks. It's pretty green. Like by the shore, you can see it. So we'll see if there's anything worth filming. I'll film it. Otherwise, this might be it for today. Tomorrow we're going to Flower Pot, so I will definitely film that for y'all. So I'm gonna steer myself because I'm slowly drifting the wrong way, and I will show you guys more stuff when there's more stuff to show. But this is the lake. There's Bay. So we're back at camp. We're packing for tomorrow for our flower pot adventure. Bay's getting the snacks ready. We have some
Snacks, buddy, snacks.
Oh my god. So we have little pepperettes that are turkey based. Got them at Costco. They don't need to be refrigerated. They're great. So we went, I swam, they jumped in. It was a good time. There were periods where it was nice and warm, and there were periods where it would be quite cold. So that was fun. Now we're packing up for our flower pot adventure tomorrow. The plan for tomorrow is we get on our boat, go explore Flower Pot Island. We'll see. I'm hoping the water will be at least a little bit warm, but it is Lake Huron, I believe. Superior? It's one of the lakes. It's cold. So we'll see. Other than that, swimming was good. It was clear-ish, but there wasn't much. Like, it was pretty murky. So it was like yellow. And there were some stones and some kind of like mossy stuff and some decrepit looking plants. And yeah, we will start that adventure tomorrow. And other than that, we're just gonna cook up our supper and go to bed. Bye.